Alright, this is my final video of the series on menu UI. So we dealt with button interactions and this animation in videos 2 and 3 of this series. So if you want to learn how this is all done, click either of the video links that are present on the screen now. And in this final video we'll be looking at how to make the screen go from black to clear and make the camera do vice versa, so in this animation from going clear to fading into black. In the last video we had a problem where when we clicked on options, just like this, the menu UI went straight to the options menu. What we want is when we click options, it goes through the entire animation, and only when we're at the back of the bus does the options menu fade in. So those are the three things we'll be looking at this video. Let's start with the full screen that fades out from black. So the first thing we want to do is create a black screen. Create empty game object, and let's call that screen fader. Next you want to add component GUI texture. You want to give yourself a black BG texture. I've given myself red, so don't do that. X and Y coordinates 0.5, scale 1, 1, and then you can color it to be much darker. It's done with the color property. Again, you probably want to go with a black texture so you don't have dark red. I'll fix that after the video. Then what we're going to do is we're going to add a component animation or an animator. It doesn't matter. They can both be referenced in the script in different ways. Animation's slightly easier. So open up your animation panel. That's Windows animation panel. Have it open like this, and let's create a new. And I'm going to call this animation fade clear because what's happening is we're going from a black screen and then fading to clear. So let's create the fade to clear animation, add property, GUI texture, and then you want to add color. Animation, very handily by default, gives you some time frames at the 1 second mark. So let's edit those, make sure you're in recording mode, and what you want to do is not change the color, you want to click on the color and decrease the alpha. So I'm getting everything to black, and decrease the alpha down to 0 as well. So what this is saying is after 1 second we're going to go from black, or in my case crimson red, to clear. And don't forget to add the animation into the animation component attached to screen fader, the game object. This animation plays at the beginning of the scene, so we don't need to do any scripting or anything. Okay, now we're going to look at this fade to black animation. So the first thing you want to do is create a new clip, and let's call it fade black. And exactly like we did with the fade clear animation, we're going to place 2 keyframes, but this time we'll edit the first keyframe, edit the color, and bring the opacity down to 0. And this fade to black animation is what we should be getting. Oh, fade to red. So we've got this options menu problem, I'll come back to that. Basically what I want is when it's behind the bus and we go into the window, I want to cue the animation that fades the screen to black. So we cue the animation, and as the camera goes into the window, we fade to black. And we will initiate an event in the animation timeline. This event will be referenced in the menu system script, and all this function will do is set off the animation of fade black. So let's define our fade to black object. We'll call this fade in, fade out. So the animation timeline will be referencing a function in this script. So it needs to be outside of the start function. This is the first function we'll be writing outside of the start function. I'm going to call this a public void fade out. I've written public fade out. Don't do that, right? Public void fade out. I'll change it later, you'll see. And inside of this public void fade out, I'm going to queue up my animation. So I need to write fade in, fade out, which is the game object I just defined, which will be the empty game object with the GUI texture attached. Then .get component animation .play, and between the play I need to write which animation I want to play. So let me flick back because this needs to be spelled correctly. The animation is called fade to black. Just checking. Okay, I'm going to flick back. And I'm going to write fade in, fade out .get component animation .play, and then quotation mark fade black, and that will play the animation. And then there we go, public void fade out. I've come to my senses. So back in my hierarchy, I click main camera. I search through the animation. So once I've clicked start game, it revolves around the bus and it goes into the back of the window, and I find out where on the playhead I want fade black to kick in. It's about here. So what I do is I add an animation event, and I double click on the animation event, and then in functions I find my public void, which is called fade out. And this will be referencing what I've just written in the script. And if I give that a play, this is what it'll look like. I sped the previous bit up, but you can see now it fades to black. So let's look at this issue where we click options and the menu UI doesn't disappear. We want this. Click options, wait for the menu UI, we're at the back of the bus, then we get menu UI. Let's look at that. So let's find the on-click listener for the options button. And let's comment in delay the animation for X many seconds. I'm going to say 3. We're going to have to create and call upon a special function called a coroutine, which is essentially a function that can wait or yield for a number of seconds before being launched. So we're going to start with a coroutine, and then this is our function fade in options menu. We need to create that function. So outside the start function, we want to go IE numerator, and this essentially means our class returns methods and properties for iteration. Alright, and we want to go yield return new, wait for seconds, and in between how many seconds you want to wait for. I'm going to wait for 3 seconds. And after that comes anything you want to launch after say 3 seconds. So I'm going to get the menu canvas, get component, the animator, and play the animation fade in menu. All the code for this, by the way, is in the gist in the video description as well. So we need to add a little bit more to our script, but I just want to explain as I go why I'm adding things in. So I've opened the animator, and when I click play, the menu fades in, and so fade in menu animation completes. So we still have this problem when we click options button, the options UI doesn't disappear. I'll deal with that second. But 3 seconds in, the options UI should fade in, and it doesn't. And what we need to do is restart the fade in menu animation. We do that by writing in after fade in menu, we do -1 as a state and then 0, and this will restart fade in menu animation. So let's give that a play. So after 3 seconds, the fade in menu animation starts. Finally, what we're going to do now is on clicking the options button, we're going to hide the options menu. So we're going to hide this. We'll keep it hidden for this entire animation, and then we'll show it just as this animation begins to play. And this can be done so simply by finding the options button, click listener, and anywhere in there writing menu canvas set active false, and in the IE numerator after the 3 second delay, just writing menu canvas dot set active true to show it again, and that will achieve what we want. So finally, flick over to the Unity project and see what this all looks like. We'll need to set an animation for start game from this point into the back of the bus, but all the information needed for that has been in the last 2 videos, so it should be fairly obvious. This has been the menu UI system. Thanks so much for watching.